Hello guys, I'm here for another retro review. Like I said, these retro reviews have no set schedule. I am only doing them for video content for the channel till I start my SummerSlam review series, which will take most of the month of August. And might even go into September, I don't know. So, today we are looking at the WWE again. Or at the time of this review, it was the WWF. But we're going back to 1996. We're going back to 1996, a time where WWE was at some of its darkest days, where it looked like WCW was going to crush the WWE in the Monday Night War. In fact, they were in the ratings, because the NWO was the hottest thing going, and the WWE didn't have too much to counter that. They had Stone Cold Steve Austin, but him countering the NWO didn't really happen until 1997. But today I am looking at an event that is remembered in a lot of ways because from a historical standpoint, this is the first time we saw a match type in the WWE. Now, it's a match type we've not seen in quite a long time, but this did mark the first one of it, and it's In Your House 11, Buried Alive, which took place on October the 20th, 1996 from the Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana. As you might know, this was the very first ever Buried Alive match took place here between Undertaker and Mankind as part of their rivalry that ended at Survivor Series in 1996. So, while this had a historic match on it, because it is a historic match, was the rest of the show any good? Well, we're gonna find out. There's 5 total matches on this card, so we have a 25 maximum star rating. Now, also, these In Your Houses are very easy to watch because they're only roughly between an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. So it's not like a chore to watch them, which is why I tend to choose a lot of them, and because I haven't actually, seen all of them. I've seen a few, but not all of them. So, our opening contest is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Hearst Helmsley. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Austin and Helmsley were heels at this time, so why was the WWE doing a heel versus heel? Well, Hearst Helmsley was actually filling in for an injured Savio Vega, so we have this heel versus heel match. Now, isn't it ironic about this that these two would become 2 of the staples of the Attitude Era? But that would be, again, in the year 1997 going into the year 2000. So, this is a 1.5 star match. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not exactly good. Stone Cold does do the stun gun, which I think he had never used in the WWE up until then, because it was primarily his WCW finisher. He used it before. I don't know how many times before this he used it in WWE, but of all the events I've watched for 96, I think he only used the stun gun a couple times. So, I should say that there's also a little running thing of Jim Ross here in the storyline, where Jim Ross's headset doesn't work for the first 2 matches, and he eventually walks out on commentary. Because this is when they were doing the Jim Ross heel thing, which didn't last too long, mind you, but was unique. Essentially, Mr. Perfect comes down to steal Hearst Helmsley's escort because they were having a match the next night on Raw, which ended up Mr. Perfect and Helmsley aligned, and they were going to put them together, but Perfect left the WWE, I think, right afterward, and went to WCW, and was in WCW by July of 97. So, essentially, finish comes when Austin hits the stunner and gets the win. So like I said, 1.5 stars. So then we get the WWE Tag Team Championship match. The British Bulldog and Owen Hart versus the Smoking Guns. Another 1.5 star match. Like I said, nothing really, this isn't bad, but it's below average. It's a below, again, we have 2 heel teams here. There's a theme here, these first 2 matches, since it's heel, heel, and heel, heel. So obviously one has to play face. Bulldog and Owen Hart seem to play the face here. team, but not too much because they don't follow the traditional tag team thing. And essentially, the finish comes when the Guns are going for the Sidewinder. Bulldog pulls Bart out of the way of Billy, and then Owen hits Billy with a spin kick and wins the match. Like I said, nothing special. That really is a theme of this show. There's nothing really special on this show. So next we get the WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Marc Mero versus Goldust. Goldust is filling in for Farouk, who Ahmed Johnson had taken out earlier in the night. This is when Farouk was wearing that stupid gladiator headgear that luckily he had dropped. And then they gave him that Black Panther, Black Supremacist gimmick or whatever the Nation of Domination was, even though there was a Puerto Rican and a white guy in it. Even though there was a Puerto Rican and a white guy in it. In fact, there were also white rappers in it. So I don't know whether it was meant to be a parody of... I don't know if the Nation of Domination was meant to be a parody to Black Panthers or what, but it was... I mean, I guess because there were white rappers in it, you're trying to parody the white rappers like Vanilla Ice and Mark Wahlberg and all that before John Cena was doing it. But for what Farouk's character was doing at the time, it made no sense for him to be hanging around with white people in the story. And I don't mean that as a racist term either. It's just... that was meant to be like a whole black stable, and they did it right after they got rid of all the white idiots, after they got rid of all the, non-African American people. So, but anyway, small thing aside. Okay match. Mero wins with the Wild Thing, and that's really that. So then we get Sycho Sid versus Vader. Winner of this gets a WWE Championship match at Survivor Series. It's a big man match, a traditional big man match. It's 1.5 stars. Finish comes when Sid hits a choke slam. And then they have this thing with Doc Hendrix backstage. He's about to interview Sycho Sid. And Jim Ross comes in and actually brings up the stuff that Sid did to Shawn Michaels in the past, which Sid admits to. That's actually a brilliant thing today that WWE would never think of doing ever again. But think about it. The year before this, in 1995, when Sid was Shawn Michaels' bodyguard, he powerbombed Shawn Michaels 5 times just for giving him the day off. So, yeah, Jim Ross brought that up. WWE would never do that today. Stuff like that, when you bring up continuity of stuff that a guy did, it helps add intrigue to a match, if it's in a past, even if it's 2 allies. So that's actually a brilliant thing that the WWE did. So then obviously we get to the match this is most known for. The unsanctioned Buried Alive match. Basically, yeah, it's an unsanctioned scripted match, so you just have to say it's unsanctioned due to the brutality in it. Now, Buried Alive matches is one of the few matches I don't like the concept of. But that being said, I do not think that the match type is completely offensive, so it's not going to get a negative star. But, to be fair, the way Undertaker wins this, he ends up choke slamming Mankind into the grave, and then puts enough dirt on him to cover him, but not, to the point where his air would be cut off. Because you can't do that. Now, I'm very aware that stunts like this are done all the time in Hollywood and whatnot. I'm just saying, to me, I'll go into this later when I go to WCW Tober and talk about all the Halloween Havocs, specifically one thing that happened to Halloween Havoc 91. And I think I went into this about the Human Torch match. But like I said, while I may not agree with the concept of things like this or the Inferno match, as long as I don't think they're offensive, they're not going to get a negative star rating, as long as they put an effort into making the match unique. And I'm not going to give this a negative star rating anyway, because it is the first of its kind. The Human Torch match from Great American Bash 2000 was essentially an Inferno match without the ring surrounded by fire. So, it was a rip-off, and not a very good rip-off. So, yeah, it's 2.5 stars. I think that Undertaker and Mankind have had much better matches, including King of the Ring 96, and Survivor Series of 96, and King of the Ring 98, even though that is remembered more for one spot than anything else. But, so out of a possible 25 stars, this show gets 9. That actually makes this show a C- because it's only 3.5 stars away from being 12.5, which would be a C rating. So yeah, it's a C rating. So this will be in the Retro Wrestling Review playlist. If you like the video, like button is the next video will be a WCW review. Don't know what I'm going to do. I will just pick something at random off a W Network that is WCW related, and I'll give that a review, which will be uploaded sometime tomorrow. And if I don't get to it tomorrow, it'll be uploaded on Friday. So, and come August 29th, come the 29th of August, Power Rangers Dino Charge returns. So on Saturdays, I'll be able to give you my Dino Charge reviews leading up to the end of the year, which will continue through Dino Supercharge. So, yeah, if you like this video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.